wife is never.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight to meet Kathleen Cleary. I've had the good fortune to know Kathleen for many years, since our children were young. Kathleen is a woman who cares about her community. She is kind, she is good, she is smart, she is hardworking, she is a person of great integrity. Kathleen and I took the train down to DC together to march in the first Women's March in January of 2017. And then we went back to DC again with our families for the tax march a couple of months later. And it was there in our nation's capital when Kathleen first got the spark to serve, and how fortunate for all of us that she did. And it is my great pleasure to introduce to you your Democratic candidate for State Senate, Kathleen Cleary.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for coming, and thank you, Mary, for a lovely introduction. I knew you'd be the perfect person. My name is Kathleen Cleary, and I'm very excited to be here with you tonight to announce my candidacy for New York State Senate, District 2. Now, I want to get right to the point. Oh, it's getting hot in here. My glasses are fogging. I'm running for New York State Senate because it's time to focus on our district, and I have 3 goals of my campaign. 1 is protect us taxpayers from corruption and unfair tax policies. 2, to improve our environment and protect our parks and beaches. 3, strengthen the quality and safety of our schools and our neighborhoods. Our district deserves better than to be ignored in favor of Albany's political class. Now, I've lived here in East Northport for 20 years, and there is no place in New York that I'd rather raise my daughter and my husband, and I raised our daughter here, and we love the neighborhood for the same reasons that you do. We have great schools, fantastic teachers, and we have great, caring people. But sadly, our state senator, John Flanagan, is too focused on Albany to see our potential. While he's playing partisan games with made-up committee titles and supporting unqualified Trump appointees, the people who live in our district face a slow but steady decline in the quality of life. On Flanagan's watch, our drinking water has degraded. During his watch, money is appropriated to slush funds, cronies are provided money and titles for positions they do not hold or work they don't perform. On Flanagan's watch, we continue to see too little of our state tax dollars returned to us from Albany. This drives up our property taxes, and meanwhile, the federal government has capped our state and local tax deductions. Now, if we commit ourselves to the goals I've outlined, we'll realize the aspirations of many people in this room and throughout the district. Excuse me. Now, I grew up on Long Island and I love it here. This is where I went to high school and college, where I met the greatest guy, Brian, sitting right here in the front. Brian and I are raising a smart and resourceful daughter. She's in the back there taking on your education. Brian's devotion to public service as a New York City firefighter and our concern with our daughter's future on Long Island inspired me to get involved. Like many people, I was content with being an independent and leaving politics to the politicians. I have to ask you, where has that gotten us? Flanagan refuses to bring the Child Victims Act to a vote. Flanagan refuses to bring the Reproductive Health Act to a vote. And the New York Health Act has been stuck in committee for years. Our interests seem to be getting in the way of his interest and the special interest up in Albany. And our district, as I said, deserves better. I've spent over 20 years of my career as a contract manager, working for Fortune 100 companies. I've successfully worked with difficult personalities under trying circumstances. I achieve results. I also know how to stand up to others who want to do the wrong things, cut corners, obstruct progress, and these are all the skills that I will bring to the office. More recently, I returned to college and started a new career driven by my passion for the environment. I returned to Farmingdale State College to pursue a horticulture degree, and I currently work for the New York State Parks as a horticulturist. I recently helped secure a Department of Environmental Conservation grant to restore 50 acres of the park that had been devastated by southern pine beetle. I also work with Cornell Cooperative Suffolk Extension, and I'm devoted to the restoration of Long Island's native plants. I'm very proud of my achievements, and I'm moved that my friends, neighbors, coworkers, and acquaintances believe that my judgment, experience, and skills equip me to represent them as their senator. As Long Islanders, we can't keep raising the next best generation of former New Yorkers. That's our children who graduate college and then move out of state, or our friends and neighbors and family who retire and also leave the state. To end this, we need representation that realizes our potential. We need to make our community desirable and affordable so much that people will stay, and good leadership can do better. My principal message for you today is this: our lives are not improved by our current senator and his temporary state Senate leader status. Our district does not need another lifelong political operative. There's no advantage to anyone but Flanagan and his cronies when he blocks popular legislation. It's time for our district to have real representation in Albany, and I know we can do better. I'm ready, and I know what's coming, and my family knows what's coming. I'm sure the negative, fake news, hit piece mailers are already being drafted. Oh, we're prepared because this is too important. Upstate Albany operatives are already in high gear to protect Flanagan. He's taken money from corporations in Colorado, California, Texas, Illinois, Indiana, Massachusetts, Missouri, and Washington. And by the way, what interest does a Missouri-based Monsanto have here in our district? These corporations all have the same interests. It's John Flanagan's influence in Albany. Is that who he should be prioritizing? Or should your senator be fighting for you, the constituents? Making himself available to the constituents and not his corporate sponsors. And we have to do better. I know many of you share my concerns because you tell me. I hear from my friends, fellow parents, from neighbors, from business owners, and community leaders. It's time for a change. The needs of our district cannot be addressed as long as those needs are second to John Flanagan, special interest, and Albany's corrupt political culture. We're all concerned with the future of our community, our neighborhoods, and our jobs, our schools, our environment. And so here's my proposition to you. Elect me as your senator, and I will work tirelessly to see that our district gets the resources that we deserve. And this is very important. People, including too many of our young people, are fleeing Suffolk County, according to the Wall Street Journal. This is one of the biggest challenges to our community. It affects our economy, which affects our tax base, which affects our services, including our schools and other fundamental resources. I will do better. My vision is what I call responsive leadership. Responsive leadership measures its success by its community's success. Responsive leadership listens to the community and is available. Responsive leadership solves local problems and improves lives. Responsive leadership envisions taking the money out of politics with a commitment to campaign finance reform. I will listen to the community, not Monsanto. To me, responsive leadership means devoting myself to bringing our tax dollars back to our community to help stop the steady rise of property taxes and county fees. Responsive leadership means improving the environment by bringing state tax dollars again back to our district and cooperating with the county to fund clean water initiatives. Responsive leadership means supporting laws that will improve our schools, ending Common Core, and minimizing standardized testing. Responsive leadership means strengthening law enforcement so that they can fight MS-13 and combat gang initiatives. Responsive leadership means working at the state level to pass legislation that will stop the growing opioid crisis. And people here want what nearly everyone in the district wants and everywhere. We want nice homes, we want good paying careers, we want good schools and opportunities for our kids, and we want them to be safe. As an engaged member of our community, I see our potential. As I consider what distinguishes me from my opponent, a quotation from our first Governor Cuomo, Mario Cuomo, comes to mind. He said, "Decide exactly what you want to achieve. Do you want to help people or do you want to be powerful?" I want to help people because I like people. As I meet people throughout our district, I'm reminded of my own family and I can make a connection. You know, I see our families are different, but regardless of those differences, what we have in common is love and hope for the future. And my love for my family and encounters with my friends and others have motivated me, have made me decide to alter my career path and my life path radically to make these changes because I want to devote my skills and passions to realizing our potential. It is for that reason that I ask for your support. I want you to join me. Please sign up. Please tell your friends. Please donate. And above all else, please vote for me so that it can bring our voice back to state government.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to read an email we got from Joan Sergol, the councilwoman on Huntington Town Council. Dear supporters and well-wishers of Kathleen Cleary, I regret I'm unable to join you tonight to celebrate the occasion of Kathleen's campaign kickoff, but I wanted to send my personal congratulations and support for her candidacy for New York State Senate District 2. While I only had the privilege of meeting Kathleen recently, her competence, her enthusiasm, and humility struck me instantly. And I remember thinking to myself, the voters are going to love Kathleen. And I know that you are here tonight because you do too. Kathleen and I have something in common. We're both newcomers to the world of politics and campaigns, but our passion to do the right thing and to serve our community and neighbors with distinction and make a difference is the stuff that fuels our thoughts, goals, and actions. We are venturing into public life during some pretty tenuous times in our American history and politics. Much damage has been done to erode our trust and faith in government at the federal level right on down. As I visit and speak to our residents, I see a wide range of emotions, anger and fear, and worst of all, apathy. I know Kathleen is seeing the same. The good news is that people are looking for change, and they're looking for hope, and only positivity can overcome negativity. So I am certain that Kathleen is the kind of candidate that's going to take voters by pleasant surprise, and they will naturally gravitate to her because of the promise and positive change she represents and exudes just by being in her presence. Dare I add that women bring something not only important but necessary to public life. We are the great equalizers in society, in our families, in business, and especially in government. I am proud to know and support Kathleen Cleary for State Senate. Sending my heartfelt good wishes tonight and going forward, very truly yours, Joan Sergol, Councilwoman. Wrap it up. Thank everybody for coming.
Did anybody have a few questions?